Hi everyone. Today we're going to make a tiny tile trivet. We're going to have two pieces of wood, one solid and one with a pop out. This pop out piece will not be used in the remaining portion of the program. We'll put that aside. What we're going to do is we're going to feel around the sides. It's a little rough. This is a little piece of fine sandpaper. We're going to go over this just nice and carefully. Now you can either paint, stain, or color with marker after we sand, or you can wait till the end. I suggest, today we're not going to do that because of time, but I suggest that you either paint, stain, or color with marker before you install the tiles. And you can see the tiles are right here. Okay, this feels good. Maybe we'll give a little bit of a quick rough draft over that. Okay, we're going to look for this. We're going to see again the little pieces of wood coming off. We're just going to do that to smooth it out, so when you put the paint on and everything, it looks more refined. Okay. We're going to take a tissue, and we're just going to get all the yucky stuff off here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to match this up, okay? And you see, it forms almost like a little picture frame. But what we're going to do is we're going to put these beautiful colored tiles, and you can see those. They're all going to fit perfectly within that little square. And we're going to glue them in. So again, this is going to look much more beautiful once you either paint it or color it in your favorite color. You can put designs on it. If you want to put little foamies, you could put little rhinestones, however you want to do it, little basketballs, any way that you want to do it will look great. So first we're going to take this and we're going to take our glue. We just have some clear glue. If you have white glue, it'll dry also clear. And we're going to go around the edges right here. And we're going to stay a little bit away from the edge, okay? Because when you push it down, it's going to be like a little sandwich. And we don't want it to squeeze out. If it does, you can wipe it up. It's okay. Maybe what we'll do is we'll put just a little bit more in here, okay? Just to give it some extra reinforcement. Now we're going to match it back up again, okay? And you see how this goes? I'm going to hold it up so you can see how we're going to make sure that it's going to go nice and tight there. So you see how, it's hard to see, but a little bit of glue came through. And we're just going to take another clean tissue and maybe just carefully wipe it. Okay? And we're going to hold it there like that. Because of time restraints, obviously, we're not going to wait for this to glue, but I would say to you, it's important to let this dry for maybe about 15 minutes, but just to make sure that it's solidified. Now, we can take some more glue and we can, make a little bit of design in here because this is where our tiles are going to go. And we can take this paintbrush. And you could take your finger and do it, paintbrush, whichever way you want to spread it out. But we're going to spread this out so nice. Now, this is really an important part because you want to think about, I like it to do it like a crazy pattern, so just any which way. But if you have favorite colors, you could do stripes of favorite colors. So there's a white, there's an orange color, there's a light pink, there's a blue, green, a dark green, a darker purple color, brown, yellow. You can mix it all up or you can make kind of like a pattern. So maybe before you actually put them in, right, you might want to do a little bit of a pattern and see what you like before you glue them on. But again, I really enjoy just all different colors together. And again, maybe I might pop like a little bit more glue on there to ensure that these are gonna stick on there really well, because we want to use this. So we can put our summer drinks on here, our lemonade, our iced tea. This is good for all kinds of stuff. And this is your own personal little coaster trivet. Okay, so we're gonna carefully place these in there, you see? And this is definitely gonna be, they suggest that you put something heavy on top of this. Once we get all of the tiles in place, and you can see how it's coming along. I just wanna show you how it's starting to look, okay? And you might get a little bit of glue on your hands, but in the end, it's gonna look really beautiful. And you could give this maybe to your dad for Father's Day, for his drink of Coca-Cola or something delicious. Or you could keep it for yourself, give it to your mom, or just put it around the house. Okay, let's fill in. This is like not really like any particular kind of pattern. Again, it's a mishmash of colors, and I love that. And it looks almost like a crossword puzzle. Okay, we're getting near to the end of this. Okay, I've got one more tile to put in. There we go. Okay, now I would lightly give it a light press on it and just to secure it in, maybe stick one finger on each row. Okay, and let's look at the finished project. But again, this is still drying, so I wouldn't knock it around too much, but that's mine. That's my creation. I really love it. I love patterns, and I think we're gonna read you like a story today about different color patterns. Now this is a tempera paint. Again, I would suggest that you paint this first before gluing the two pieces together, before inserting your tiles, because you don't want to get any of that on your tiles. Again, with markers, you have a little bit more control over coloring the outside, but again, it's best to do it when these two wood pieces are separate. But again, for time purposes, we wanted just to put this together. And you can make this in any style that you'd like. So I'm going to read you a little story about patterns today. And the book is called Mushka, a quilt story. So we know like crazy quilts have all different kinds of patterns. And this particular quilt is made of all different materials from this little girl's life, from her grandmother's life. And so we're going to start. This is Mushka, a quilt story by Julie Paskus. Okay, you see all the different patterns that are on here? They're so beautiful. And this is like the tile that you just made. Your own original creation. Okay, there we go. Carla had an unusual quilt. She called it Mushka. Mushka kept her warm on cold nights and had a nice toasty smell. Its colors and patterns made her room bright and cheery, even on the rainiest of days. If there was something scary under the bed, it snuggled tight around her and made her feel safe. But that wasn't why Carla's quilt was unusual. Mushka was different because it could talk to her. At bedtime, Mushka always said, "Sweet dreams." First thing in the morning, Mushka might say, "Pancakes?" Carla's grandmother had made the quilt from scraps of old fabric that she called schnitz. As she sewed the pieces together, she told Carla stories. See, and there you see the grandmother and Carla, and she's making the quilt. beautiful patterns. If Carla couldn't sleep in the middle of the night, she would put her hand on a schnitz and it would tell her its story. Mushka would go on and on until Carla was fast asleep. And there she is with her little stuffed animal and her patterned quilt, Mushka. Each bit of fabric had a different way of speaking. The yellow schnitz spoke in a soft, cottony voice. I was a tablecloth at grandmother's farmhouse, which was all right, especially when something sweet spilled. I was glad to be useful, but once when your Aunt Marjorie was a girl, she made me into a tent and told fortunes beneath my golden folds. Now, that was glorious. And then you can see how they're under the little tent. The blue schnitz had a sturdy voice. Grandpa Will lived on the other side of the mountain. He walked for 3 days over the hills and asked Lily Jane to marry him. I was the kerchief around his neck. When he reached the apple orchard, he went right up to her and said, I'm yours now or never. And he wiped his brow with me and didn't leave until she said yes. The red schnitz spoke in a cheery tone. When your mother was just your age, she thought she could fly. She made me into a cape and jumped out of the cherry tree. Such fun! I fluttered and flapped in the wind. She broke her toe, but that wasn't my fault. And there she is, flying out of the cherry tree. Carla loved listening to the stories. Sometimes she would talk about something the quilt had told her, and her mother would say, now, how did you know that, Carla? One day, a little white crib was moved into Carla's room, and Hannah was in the crib. That night, Mushka didn't say a word, not even sweet dreams. Carla could think of many words, unfair, stinky, my room, but Mushka was silent. Night after night, Carla would put her hand on a schnitz, hoping for a story, but Mushka kept quiet. Carla tried to start the stories. Do you remember when we were curtains in Dad's old sailboat? Do you remember when a Halloween costume for the dog? But Mushka didn't speak. Once, in the middle of the night, Hannah started to cry. She cried and cried. Carla squeezed her eyes shut and put her hands over her ears, but she could still hear Hannah crying. Carla got out of bed. She picked up her quilt and carried it to the crib. She puffed Mushka in the air and let it float gently down on Hannah. Sister, said Mushka. Hannah stopped crying and began to sniffle. Carla put her hand on the green schnitz and whispered, this is from my pajamas that I wore when I was little, almost as small as you. When I was a baby, I would stand in this crib and crow like a rooster every morning. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Hannah was quiet and Mushka was quiet. And Carla went on and on. And that's the end of our story today. But I want you to look at this beautiful pattern once more and think about how your pattern will reflect this. Thank you.